Long ago, in a quiet land of hills and crossroads, lived a poor shepherd named Hadar Kim. His world was small, a flimsy stone hut, open fields, and 3 docile sheep that followed him everywhere. Hadar had 2 children, his son Rowan and his daughter Mira, who were all he had left when illness slowly led him to death. On his last night, Hadar mustered his strength and called for his children to come closer to him. He whispered, "I leave you a little, this humble house and 3 sheep. Divide them as you wish, but promise me one thing. Do not let greed stand between you. Whatever happens, remain at peace with one another." When their father died, silence fell over the house. After a long moment, Rowan turned to his sister. He said gently, "Tell me, Mira, which do you want, the house or the sheep?" Mira looked around the small shelter, its cracked walls and thin roof. She replied, "I choose the house. It will protect me from the cold." Rowan nodded without hesitation. He gave her the house and took the 3 sheep. At dawn, he hugged his sister, promised to write whenever he had the chance, and set off on the open road with nothing but hope and faith. "I was born on a Friday," Rowan whispered to himself as he walked. "I hope luck remembers me someday." Years passed. Rowan wandered from land to land, living a simple life, selling wool, drinking milk, and sleeping under the stars. He never had luck, but he never gave up on it either. One evening, at a crossroads where 4 roads meet, Rowan sat in silent despair. Suddenly, a stranger appeared, tall, silent, and dressed in dark cloak. 3 black dogs walked beside him, one small, one strong, and one enormous. The stranger said, "Hello, shepherd. Your sheep are good animals. Trade them for my dogs." Rowan laughed bitterly. "Sheep feed themselves and provide for my needs. Dogs, on the other hand, bring hunger and trouble." The stranger smiled. "These are not ordinary dogs. The smallest, Ember, can summon food and drink. The second, Night Guard, will protect you from any harm. And the largest, Iron Fong, can tear through steel itself." After much hesitation, Rowan agreed. To confirm the truth of his words, he whispered, "Ember, I'm hungry." The little dog disappeared, then returned moments later with a feast fit for a king. Rowan's life changed that night. One day, Rowan came across a black carriage slowly moving through the valley. Inside sat a pale, shivering young princess dressed in mourning clothes. The driver refused to speak at first, but eventually revealed the truth. A winged serpent lived on the mountaintop. Every year, the kingdom was obliged to offer a girl as a sacrifice. This year, fate chose the king's daughter. Rowan followed the chariot despite the warnings. Halfway up the mountain, the monster descended amidst the fire and shadows. Rowan shouted, "Night Watchman." The dog leaped up and fought the monster with terrifying ferocity. When the smoke cleared, the monster was dead. The princess collapsed in fear, then awoke to find herself free. She begged Rowan to return with her to the palace. He said, "I must continue my journey, but after 3 years, I will return." On the way back, the driver threatened the princess. "Say that I killed the monster, or I will throw you into the river." She agreed, terrified. The false hero was celebrated. A wedding was announced. However, the princess postponed it year after year, waiting. On the wedding day, Rowan returned with his dogs. He was accused and imprisoned, but escaped thanks to the power of Iron Fong. The night watchman found the princess, who finally spoke the truth in court. Rowan was summoned. The liar was exposed. Shame filled the hall. The king offered the princess's hand to Rowan. Justice was served. After the wedding, Rowan summoned his sister to the palace and welcomed her with love and respect. That night, the 3 dogs spoke. "We have accomplished our mission. You have remained true to your promise, to your sister, and to your heart." They turned into birds and disappeared into the sky. Rowan, Mira, and the princess lived in peace, knowing that true wealth comes not from magic, but from loyalty and courage. Peace did not arrive easily, even after justice was restored. Rowan's marriage to Princess Althea shook the kingdom. The people celebrated him as a hero, but not everyone in the palace shared that joy. Some nobles whispered in shadowed halls, uneasy that a former shepherd now stood beside the throne. They smiled before him, yet envy sharpened their words behind closed doors. King Aldrich, growing older and weaker, began to rely on Rowan more each day. He saw in him not only courage, but honesty, something rare among those born into power. Rowan listened more than he spoke, judged slowly, and treated servants and lords with equal respect. This, however, made certain men dangerous. One night, the High Chancellor gathered several nobles in secret. "A man without noble blood now advises the king," he hissed. "Today he advises, tomorrow he rules." They decided Rowan must fall. Their plan was simple: create chaos, then place the blame upon him. Soon after, strange events began to unfold. Royal caravans vanished. Grain stores burned. Border villages accused the crown of neglect. Each rumor pointed, subtly, toward Rowan's decisions. The king grew troubled. "Tell me truthfully," he asked Rowan. "Have I placed too much power in your hands?" Rowan bowed his head. "Test me," he said calmly. "Truth fears no trial." The council demanded a public judgment. Rowan was forbidden from using his dogs or magic. Only his word would stand. Witnesses were called. False letters were presented. Lies wrapped themselves in elegant language. Even the people began to doubt. Princess Althea watched in silent agony as her husband stood alone before the court. Then, an unexpected figure stepped forward. Mira, Rowan's sister, had been living quietly near the capital, avoiding court politics. But she had seen something the others had not. She revealed proof: hidden routes used by the noble's own guards, false seals copied by the chancellor's men, and a ledger stolen from a careless servant. The hall erupted. Cornered, the conspirators turned on one another. Truth unraveled quickly once fear replaced confidence. The king struck the floor with his staff. Enough. The guilty were stripped of title and banished. Some wept. None were spared. That night, King Aldrich summoned Rowan alone. "I am tired," the king admitted. "The crown grows heavy. Rule beside me, or take it when I am gone." Rowan looked toward the city lights below the palace. "I never sought a throne," he said, "but I will guard it, as I guarded a stranger on a mountain." The king smiled. As dawn broke, 3 birds circled the palace once more. Althea saw them first. "They came back," she whispered. Rowan only nodded. He had passed the final test, not of strength, but of integrity. And the kingdom entered an age where power no longer belonged to birth or deceit, but to those who earned it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can continue publishing more stories.